Hey guys, Stelios from Bush Life here. So where do we start this video? Well, the big rage lately seems to be subscription boxes, subscription boxes, subscription boxes. You know, we haven't had any really, I can't speak to other boxes out there. We had one for the kids, which they really like because they come home and there's that, you know, package and you're going to get a surprise in there. So, but first and foremost, we are an outdoors blog site. So fishing, hunting, ATVing, gear, reviews, and all this started really during the pandemic when we moved. We moved to a rural sort of place, and we were talking with people back in the city, and they're saying, you know, I always dreamt of that fishing trip, or how do you deal with the bugs? So that's kind of, you know, the nature of what we do. Now, years ago, we affiliated with a company called Bespoke Post. And normally we would ask any company to send us a product before we mention them, but in their case, they had very, very good reviews. They have very high quality items, but more importantly, they had some really cool features that you could skip a month. So I'm guessing, you know, if things are tight, you can skip one. There's no sort of penalties. If you're not happy with the box, you can send it back. They'll swap it out for you. But the big thing with them was they'll send you a curated box based on like a questionnaire that you fill out online based on your likes and interests. So they finally sent us a box to review. It's based on what an outdoors person would want. So I am going to unbox this. But before I do, I will mention that we're not paid to do the video. They sent the box for free. If you do like it and you use our links in the description, we do get a small commission. But I'm not going to do a sales pitch here. I don't care if you buy the box or not. I'm just going to open it and let's go through it because you know, it's a very interesting company, and like I said, you know, the big rage is the subscription service. So let's see what 1 month's box looks like from Bespoke Post. So again, it's set for the outdoors category. Let's see what we have here. Now, I guess, you know, one of the usual, you know, the elephant in the room is always price. So when you go on their website, you sign up as a member, it does show $0. It's free to be a member. Now, members get, normally the box is $70. Members get a box for $49, and we are speaking in US currency. So that's basically what the box looks like. There's a card here that says this November, new perks every Wednesday, members only. So, and they've also branched off. They started, I guess, as a subscription service, but I noticed on their site that they've branched off where you can actually look at specific products, and you can order individual items right off their site. So let's start here with this guy. Like I said, I've never, you know, I've never really done this before. Not a subscription service, but that's nicely packaged. Hopefully that shows up. Okay, what do we have here? Mini utility light and multifunctional headwear. Okay, so let's start with the light. 4-mode LED light, branded end cap, aircraft grade aluminum, adventure tape, supply tin, bamboo cloth, and ultra durable. Okay, so that's interesting. Oh, okay. So there's a little tin here. I unscrew cap to insert batteries for longer battery, remove batteries if you don't intend to use. Okay. Filter water, repair fabric, clean wounds, personal hygiene, cover wounds, particle mask, and clean gear, start fire. So there is the bamboo cloth. So on our blog, what I do talk about a lot, one very important item is a metal container. If you're out in the woods and water is a major requirement, Water needs to be filtered and it needs to be sterilized in order to be able to be drinkable, safe for consumption. So, you know, you go to a pond and there's scum and whatnot, you can put a cloth over top of a metal cup that will be your filtration, and then you turn around and take that and you boil it. And I usually like to get a good rolling boil, and then it's safe for consumption. You've killed all bacteria and viruses. So this is, again, clean wounds, cover wounds, mask, but start a fire, yes, okay. But my big one for this would be to filter water. Another bamboo cloth, so there's 2 cloths in here. And a tin. You know, in the tin, I'd be inclined maybe to put tinder in here. You know, cotton balls dipped into Vaseline is really good because you can start that with a ferro rod. Oh, tape. Cool. So this looks basically like a storage container with these items in here. I guess the order doesn't really matter, and that's your flashlight component. So, yep, there we go. Let's see if we can. So it takes these sort of mini batteries. They look like double A's, but they're not. They're the smaller variety. Let's see what this light is like, and then we'll move on. Come on. Okay, let's see. We might edit this part out because it's taking a while. Come on, in you go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, before I put this together, I'm just curious if there's a gasket here. Yes, there is. There's a rubber gasket in there, so that should keep it watertight. So yes, if you're going to provide a storage container, you want it watertight. Long press on. There we go. Short press, red, and strobe, well, flashing. So let's try that again. Long press, here's your flashlight, low, red. Red is interesting because if you're out in the woods at night and you use a bright white light, first of all, you can be spotted. If you don't want to be spotted, a red light is a lot harder for others to detect. But moreover, when you use red light, it's not as hard on your eyes. So if you go from a red light and you shut this off and you're going into darkness, it's easier for your eyes to adjust. So that would have a function, and I would assume this, I mean, flashing would be just more for signaling. It's not a strobe for an attacker or anything like that. And we have some multifunctional headwear. I think they're also commonly known as a buff. I've been given these before for fishing. It feels nice, that I will admit. But yeah, this will just, you know, you can use it as a neck gaiter or as a mask, or again, it's a cloth. You know, there's a million uses for it, but it does feel nice. So I'll give them credit on that one. And lastly, we have a backcountry stove. You know, this could be interesting. Okay. There's a backcountry stove. So I've reviewed a stove before. I have an idea of what this is going to be. It's going to be a flat pack that you assemble. Yep. Oh, it's actually nice. Yeah, it's pretty substantial. So it just folds open, and this is going to fold flat. There's your bottom. That'll hold the ash. And this guy here, there we go. That'll fold down, and it will leave you an air gap, so you can get air in here, into here, and your combustible material comes here. And I do like this. I like the fact that they have a hole on the side. BioLite makes like a wood burning stove or pellet burning stove. The issue I find with the BioLite, and BioLite's expensive, you can only feed it from the top. So when you have your stove going and you have your water boiling, you have to pull it off, feed from the top, put it back. If you put something in that's a little too big, you can't put your pot back on. So I actually like when you can feed from the side. That's pretty cool. Okay, what else is here? So this part, I don't know. Maybe it's, nope. I would assume it's here. There we go. I've done a stove before that had something like that sitting here to help feed it, which you don't need. This just looks like a more stable pot support, especially if you have a smaller metal cup that would otherwise fall through. This makes perfect sense. Oh, okay. This guy here. Might have to check the instructions. I would assume same thing. I would assume it's I don't see instructions, but I would assume it's the same sort of idea. This could be if you have a bigger pan, this will give you a lot more support for your pan. So that would make sense. And this feels like a really thick, solid, it feels like a wax canvas pouch, but very well made. I will give them credit. This is pretty heavy, and this is definitely a really nice pouch. So that part's cool. And this here is a ferro rod. So earlier when I said with that flashlight, with that one container, if you take a cotton ball and you dip it into Vaseline and you put a spark from a ferro rod in there, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to get yourself a fire. Now the nice thing with a ferro rod, unlike a lighter, well, I always have a lighter with tape, so you know it's not a badly thought out item. Unlike a lighter, if that gets cold, then you might have to warm it up and hold it for a while before you can get it to work. The other thing with Bic lighters, which is kind of the gold standard for the outdoors, is they can get wet and then they don't work. And then you find yourself blowing and blowing to try to blow it out to dry it to get the Bic to work. This works no matter what. The only challenge with a ferro rod, and we have a whole post about this on our blog, and link, you know what, I'll link to that post in the description. The only thing with a ferro rod is if you try to go and find, you know, dry grasses or birch bark, you have to scrape it. You have to get that tinder to be very, very fine. It's not the easiest thing to get a fire going, so you have to actually practice with something like this. But it is surefire. It will always work no matter what. So, you know, I'm glad they included it here with the stove. So yeah, no, I mean, I think the value is there. I'm not sure about the flashlight. You know, only time will tell. But with the stove, for sure, and same thing with this cloth. I think the quality is definitely there. No questions asked. So anyways, that's a wrap. We will put a link in the description to Bespoke Post. Again, we do make a commission on it if you were to buy it through there. But we are, as I said earlier, we're not paid to do this review. It's just an honest, you know, this is what they send. I think it's pretty cool. And that's a wrap. Thanks. Bye.